Madam Chairman. Ground number 2 is totally outside the jurisdiction of this impeachment court. Section 2 of Article 11 enumerates the officials that will be impeached. I cannot see here the Secretary of DepEd to be impeached. In other words, Madam Chair, these allegations about actuations of Vice President Sara as a duly appointed Secretary of Education is not within the jurisdiction of an impeachment court. We're not impeaching here a Secretary of Education. In fact, Madam Chair, it is very clear that once you are able to see there are some grounds of the Vice President to be able to be tried in the Senate, it is only a removal from office of the Vice President and perpetual disqualification. In the case of the second ground, specifically, it talks about actions of the confidential funds in the Department of Education. Madam Chair, the Executive Order 292 of the late President Cory Aquino under his legislative powers in 1987 provides that the office of the Vice President is totally different from the office of the Secretary of a department. We have here, very clear, I have here, you can see here, Book 2, Distribution of Powers of Government. What does it say? Here, executive, exercise of executive power, the President. It is vested in the President. And Section 12, the Vice President also shall have the same qualification and so forth of the President, and he will be, it is he here, but it should be genders equal, may be removed from office in the same manner as the President. So this is under Book 2, Chapter 3. Now, we go to the Secretary of Education. Where is he found? It is on Book 4. Book 4 provides for the executive branch. The departments, it says here, Section 1, the executive branch shall have departments as are necessary for the functional distribution of the work of the President for the performance of function. Section 3, department proper. The department is run by the Secretary. Madam Chair, all of this will show that there is a dichotomy, a separation of the Vice President. When he was appointed without need of confirmation, then that is another duty of hers. And we are not here going to try the Vice President as Secretary of Education. We are only here to try his actuations in the office of the Vice President, wherein removal in case of impeachment could be ruled by the Senate. And therefore, Madam Chair, clearly, according to our rules which says, determination of substance is met when there's a recital of facts constituting the offense charged, and there is an and here, and determinative of the jurisdiction of the committee. Determinative of the jurisdiction. What is jurisdiction of our committee? Impeachment is an impeachment now committee to impeach. The charges are to impeach the Vice President as provided by our Constitution. So therefore, not only is there a lack of recital of the facts, what is important here is that this ground 2 is not determinative of the jurisdiction. So everything here, from 2 up to 6, which pertains to the Secretary of Education, should be ousted and dismissed immediately for being not within the jurisdiction of this committee. Thank you, Madam Chair.
The Chair wishes
Chair.
to raise a question to the Honorable Rodriguez.
Madam Chair.
This is for the sake of expounding our exchanges of argument. Honorable Rodriguez, does the Vice President cease from becoming such the moment she assumes the position of Secretary of Education?
Madam Chair, she does not cease, but then she holds another office separate from the office of the Vice President. And the Constitution is clear. In fact, it's only the President, Vice President, the Supreme Court. In fact, the very purpose of impeachment is to remove these high officials. In fact, the Secretary of Education, she resigned already. How can we proceed with hearing allegations on the Secretary of Education?
Madam Chair,
No. So therefore, yes, let's hear also our distinguished Chairman Benny Abante.
Madam
Is this
Chair.
in line with the
Yes.
argument of
Madam
the
Chair,
Honorable Rodriguez?
Perhaps with due respect to my good friend, Congressman Rufus, no, perhaps I could be able to correct the impression here. This committee is not to impeach the Vice President. It is to hear the impeachment complaint against the Vice President. This is not to impeach. This committee is not to impeach. Gusto ko pong i-correct yan sapagkat baka sabihin ng taong bayan na tayo rito, nakakaisang impeach na ang Vice President. This is to hear the impeachment complaint, Madam Chair.
At this juncture, we are calling the Honorable De Lima for her comment to the manifestation of the Honorable Rodriguez.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I respectfully disagree with the main contention that the alleged acts attributed to the Vice President concurrently holding the DepEd portfolio cannot be taken cognizance of by this committee. Clear po, concurrently, in concurrent capacity. So kaya nga po, there was the bypassing of CA confirmation precisely because she is a Vice President. No need to go through the confirmation by the CA. We're talking here as one person, same person, si VP Sara, as both the Vice President and the DepEd Secretary. And we can also say that this is also part of the pattern, the scheme, in those that we allege, the complainants allege to be attributable to the VP, is also attributable to her in her concurrent capacity as DepEd Secretary because nga, nandyan yung modus, is the same modus. So we cannot separate the personalities of VPs of Sara Duterte as VP and also as concurrent capacity in those years that she was DepEd Secretary. Because nga, concurrent nga, we are talking here about same person. And we need to look into what is clear to be modus, the scheme, the pattern of her irregular acts constitutive of impeachable offenses.
Thank you. Any other member? The Honorable Suntay.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I completely agree with my distinguished colleague, Congressman Rufus Rodriguez. Constitution is very clear in its enumeration of impeachable officers. The Secretary of Education is not one of them. The actions of the Vice President as the Vice President of the Philippines is separate and distinct from her actions as Secretary of Education. But assuming for any stretch of imagination that we find the thing one and the same, the complaint alleges the exchange of money exchanging hands, but it does not allege any wrongdoing or illegal act. Kasi yung narration, sinabi lang, napunta, binigay dito. But that's the very nature of confidential funds. It's money changing hands, being distributed. And in all those narrations, we cannot simply assume na and simply conclude that the funds was actually went to the Vice President and became for her for her enjoyment. So I think that is a conclusion. Kasi doon sa narration, sinabi, napunta kay whoever, kung kani-kaninong mga tao. Kung kay VP directly, at sinasabi natin siya ay nagpa-withdraw, bakit kailangan pa umikot yung pera kung siya sa kanya rin pupunta? There is nothing in the complaint that states that it was used illegally. What is present is a conclusion made that it was used illegally. We cannot simply say that it went to VP Sara for her personal gain. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Madam Chair.
The Honorable
Madam Chair.
Chua.
Chair.
Honorable Chua, and then Honorable Tino, and then Honorable Abante.
Thank you, Madam Chair. This time, Madam Chair, I beg to disagree with my esteemed professor and my mentor, the Honorable Rufus Rodriguez, who happens to be my ninong also.
Your seatmate
Why?
also.
And my seatmate also, my favorite seatmate. You know, the reason why I am like this is because of what he taught from me, what I gathered from the wisdom of the Honorable Rufus. Anyway, let me read, Madam Chair, what the Constitution provides with respect to the Executive Department, Article 7, Section 3, second paragraph, which provides that the Vice President may be appointed as a member of the Cabinet. Such appointment requires no confirmation. Madam Chair, if you will read this provision, it is very clear the reason why the Vice President is holding the position, cabinet position of DepEd Secretary is because of her being elected as Vice President. And in fact, Madam Chair, the Vice President is the only cabinet member who does not need confirmation. Siya lang po nagkakaiba. Why? Because she owes it to the people for electing her as the Vice President. Yun po yung aking argumento dito. Now, bakit naman po siya? Bakit ko naman po sinasabi na dito meron pong substance? Why? Dito pong grounds number 2, makikita po natin ito sa paragraph 72 to 91 dito po sa impeachment complaint. Dito po, mababasa po natin dito, sabi po dito, ito po, kung babasahin po natin, sa paragraph 79, page 31, sabi po dito, DepEd submitted its reply to COA ICPAO AOM. In this reply, DepEd attached DEPs justifying its use of confidential fund. The most notable of these DPS were certification issued by officials of the Philippine Army. So ano po ba to? Ito po yung certification na in-issue ng mga Philippine Army certifying, sinasabi po nila na wala po silang pondo na nakuha galing po sa DepEd contrary sa certificate na in-issue po nila dahil ito po ay hiningi ng DepEd. At kung babasahin din po natin yung paragraph 88, sinasabi po dito, Fajarda certified that he personally disbursed this amount to the different localities in a single day, a feat that is physically impossible. Fajarda later admitted that the disbursement were made through Colonel Nolasco, who was ostensibly a military aide assigned to OBP pursuant to instructions from the Vice President, Sara. Now, sino po itong si Fajarda at sino rin po itong si Acosta? Now, we are talking here of two SDOs. Ang trabaho po ng SDOs, sila po ang Special Disbursing Officer. Meaning to say, Sa kanila po yung pangangalaga ng pera. Sila dapat ang nagdi-disburse, sila rin po ang dapat na nagli-liquidate. Pero dito po, sa DepEd, dito po kay Fajarda, upon the instruction of the Vice President, or at that time, Secretary of DepEd, yung pera po, hindi po yung SDO ang nagdi-disburse. Dahil yung buong pera po, according dito po sa complaint, ay ibinigay po kay Colonel Nolasco na wala naman pong kinalaman sa pagdi-disburse po ng pondo. That, Madam Chair, is betrayal of public trust, clearly. So, Madam Chair, I believe that we have sufficient in substance insofar as the grounds, number 2, of the impeachment complaint is concerned.
Thank you, Honorable Chua. Next is the Honorable Tino.
Well, thank you, Madam Chair. This is also a rejoinder to the comments made by the Honorable Rodriguez as well. No? So, I would agree with him that the actions of Secretary of the Department of Education will not fall under the jurisdiction of the Committee on Justice when it comes to matters of impeachment. Because, of course, the Secretary of Education is not an impeachable official. However, we're not talking about just an ordinary Secretary of Education, but the Vice President appointed concurrently as the Secretary of Education. No? And so, it is what is the subject of impeachment are the actions of the Vice President in her capacity as the Secretary of Education. And so therefore, I would say that such actions of the Vice President as Secretary of Education are within the jurisdiction of the Committee on Justice. And I would go further to say that as far as the third complaint is concerned, there are sufficient factual allegations to support the ground of betrayal of public trust and graft and corruption, Madam Chair.
Next is the Honorable Abante. This is on the argument of the Honorable Rodriguez that as Secretary of Department of Education, it takes away the offense outside the jurisdiction of the Justice Committee. That is the argument of the Honorable Rodriguez.
Yes, Madam Chair. Natutuwa lang ako sa binanggit ni Congressman Suntay na palaging sinusuportahan ko yan pag-eleksyon. At kahit na ganyan siya, susuportahan ko pa rin yan sa eleksyon. Pero ito po nga sabihin ko sinasabi nila, sabi si Congressman Rufus, talagang mabira, makaibigan kami niyan Nasabi po nila na distinct, di ba? Hindi pwedeng akusahan si Vice President doon sa nagastos niya sa Beligiging Secretary of Education Department. Well, magbibigay na lang po ako ng ilustrasyon. Logic lang po ito. Yung dalawang kamay natin. For example, ito yung Vice President. Ito yung Secretary of Education. Ito yung perang binigay sa Secretary of Education na kasama ng kamay ng Vice President. Ang tanong ko ito, sino ba nag-iisip? Isa lang ang utak Wala namang utak yung isang kamay. Sa isang kamay. Isang utak lang po ang nagpapagana rito. Yun ang pong sabihin.
I hope everybody heard the analogy. Now it's the turn of the endorser to comment to the argument that the fact that the offense was committed as Secretary of Education, it takes away the offense outside the jurisdiction of the Justice Committee. The comment of the endorser, Honorable De Lima.
Being in a concurrent capacity does not segregate one from the other. And as mentioned earlier, under the Constitution, she's the only, official in the cabinet that to hold a simultaneous position. The VP may be appointed as a member of the cabinet. And that's why hindi nga po kailangan ang confirmation. Now, doon naman po sa sinasabing iba ang sa DepEd, iba yung sa VP, yung sa culpable violation of the Constitution, it does not say in relation to the proper office, whether office of the VP. It does not relate that it does not relate or is not in the relation to the office proper, which is the office of the VP as VP. That is the office proper of Sara Duterte as VP. It's attached to the person, yung pagko-commit ng culpable violation of the Constitution and even betrayal of public trust, it is attached to the person and position of the impeachable officer as her acts or omissions relate to the provisions of the Constitution. So hindi dapat nagiging stricto yung pag-delineate o pag-segregate, paghihiwalay ng mga alleged acts or omissions ng isang secretary, ng isang DepEd secretary who is at the same time the VP. Because these acts or omissions, yung nandun sa detalye po, underground 2, are her acts. One person as Vice President and DepEd Secretary in concurrent capacity. Hindi ho pwedeng gano'n na kung ano lang ang ginawa bilang VP, hindi yung as DepEd Secretary, even if these are related in terms of modus, in terms of pattern, in terms of system, ay hindi na dapat cognizable by an impeachment proceeding before the House Committee. Di ho ba?
You would like to
Respond
reply?
to reply to all those who said that we have jurisdiction.
All right, because of the significance of this argument, let's give an opportunity to Honorable Rodriguez to reply and then for the endorser to manifest her rejoinder.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The jurisdiction of this committee acting as an impeachment committee springs from Article 11, Section 2 of the Constitution, and then Section 3 to Section to Paragraph 7 in seriatim. And clearly, it is only the actions of the Vice President. It is the only President, the Vice President, and then we have the Supreme Court and the others. So this is the distinction between them is that there are two separate offices with two separate budgets. We determine the budget in Congress of the Vice President, and we determine also the budget of the Department of Education. So very clear that whatever stated here in ground 2 is it is not one of those that we will be discussing because after all, in paragraph 3.7, the judgment of in case we bring this up to the Senate is judgment in impeachment shall not extend further than removal from office. We cannot state in the decision, in our findings, that she committed violations as Secretary of Education. That is a matter, in fact, cases had been filed in the Ombudsman. Because the Vice President is not immune from suit. Although there's a question of whether the Ombudsman can suspend or dismiss a Vice President because impeachable officials can only be removed through impeachment. That is another issue. But the point is that this impeachment court should only focus, because of the Constitution and our rules that it should be, we should have jurisdiction, it should be very clear that all these actions of the Vice President falls within And if there's a recital of facts against the Vice President, which is sufficient in substance, it proceeds. But in this very particular ground, we are ousted of jurisdiction in this case, totally devoid of jurisdiction to be ruling on what the Secretary of Justice, Secretary of Education has done. In fact, she's already resigned. She's not anymore Secretary of DepEd. So that is what this representation has studied. We have to follow the Constitution. We have to follow our rules. Thank you, Madam Chair.
To conclude our deliberation on the second ground, we will hear the rejoinder argument of the endorser against the argument raised by the Honorable Rodriguez. Honorable De Lima.
To me, Madam Chair, it is absurd to isolate acts or omissions committed by an officer, by an impeachable officer, done in a concurrent official status or official public function, which is an adjunct or related to VP as VP. Otherwise, I can just commit violations, I can just commit offenses and skirt accountability. That simply because that's not really the office of the VP, but the office of the DepEd Secretary, but adjunct to her capacity or status as VP. I-skirt yung mga mai-skirt, will play around the law just so she will be absolved from the issue of impeachment or the possibility of impeachment, because these are related. It's the same person. It's also about fitness to hold office. Kasama rin po dyan, fitness, both as a VP and concurrent DepEd Secretary. Evil sought to be avoided and suppressed in impeachment principle applies to her as DepEd, the so-called mischief rule. She cannot avoid accountability when that very position as DepEd Secretary is attached or adjunct to her function or position as VP. Thank you.
Just a quick manifestation. Maiksing-maiksi lang po.
That rejoinder of the endorser is supposed to conclude our deliberation on the second ground.
Madam
Please
Chair.
reserve your...
I believe that my manifestation is very important. If we will follow the logic of my very good professor and dean,
Okay. So in the interest of equality and fairness, we recognize the Honorable Chua.
kung sasakyan po natin yung argumento ni Congressman Rufus Rodriguez, at ngayon po, meron pong kaso sa Office of the Ombudsman ang BP. Paano po pag may lumabas na warrant, pwede po bang damputin ang Vice Presidente at sasabihin siya inaaresto bilang Secretary of DepEd, hindi bilang Vice President? We cannot separate the Vice President from her previous position as Secretary. Why? Because we are trading a fine line. Pwede po itong maabuso. At pwede po itong magamit sa Vice Presidente bukas makalawa, maglabas ng warrant. Dahil po sa kaso niya ng pending sa Office of the Ombudsman. At sasabihin, kinakasuan siya at pinoposasan. Dahil siya po ay Secretary ng DepEd, hindi bilang Vice President ng Republika ng Pilipinas. Yun lang po.
Thank you. So